Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Shark House Entertainment, and I am your host, Brian Gatto. And yesterday, I went to go see Alien Romulus. This is a movie that takes place between the first Alien and the second Alien, well, Aliens, and there's like a middle chapter in there. And I watched all the trailers. Besides the TV spots, I watched all the main trailers. And I have people tell me, oh, it's spoiling too much, or I don't want to watch them because it spoils way too much. But let's be frank here. The trailers spoil very little of what the movie actually showcases. I was impressed about that. The trailers don't spoil too much. There's a certain death that, yeah, it's kind of spoiled. But everything else that really is involved in what's really going on with the storytelling and how things are handled, it's pretty unrevealing, the trailer. So I went to go see this with my grandfather. He's a big Alien fan. And he introduced me to the Alien franchise at like the age of 8, and yeah, it was awesome. Do I have gripes with this movie? Maybe. Do I have a lot of pluses for this movie? Oh yeah. I don't throw this term around there a lot, but it's the I feel this is the Alien for a new generation. Why do I say that? Because Prometheus and Alien Covenant, they didn't really harken back to the original Alien style, or even Aliens or Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection for that matter. Maybe more so Alien Resurrection because with all the DNA tampering. But they were very much so their own thing. They didn't feel like those other movies. And with this, it harkens back to the feeling, the claustrophobic setting, the hallways, the creatures, the practical effects. It's also referenced land galore in some parts, but I will get back to that because I feel like one of the stronger references that everyone's kind of groaning about was actually handled pretty well, and I'll tell you why in just a moment here. But what I think overall of the film, I could definitely see myself watching it more and more and loving it more and more. My expectations were middle. Like, I was wanting a new Alien movie. Some things kind of threw me off, though. I was like, okay, so it's going to be all practical effects from the director of Evil Dead 2013. Gore-soaked bloodbath that movie was. This movie pales in comparison. The rating is rated R for bloody, violent content. I'm like, you couldn't have sprung for a little bit more buckets of blood? The MPAA definitely has some funny ratings. That's for sure. Some films deserve a more graphic R rating. Some films don't, and they still get one. The thing is, I think, in my opinion, out of all the original Alien movies, not including Alien vs. Predator 1 or 2, it's hard to say. This is either my third or fourth favorite. I do love Alien 3, bleak as it may be. But, is it better than Alien 3? In time, it might be. The first two are always going to be gold standard.
Impact event in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And also the music in the film. Benjamin Wallfish, who's always kind of hit or miss with me, really did a good service to this movie's score. He brought themes back from the original Aliens, and even the 20th Century Fox logo. It started, and then it faded out like it did in Alien 3. I was like, bravo! And are there elements to other Alien movies in here besides the first 3? Well, yeah. It's like, what? And then, yeah, they're all kind of connecting, and I'm like, wow. That's something. That's a strong continuity for a franchise. That's now 7 films deep, not including the Versus movies. If that were the case, it would be 9 deep. But, yeah. I was surprised. Now I'm going to go into very light spoilers after my rating, so if you don't want to stick around for that, I understand. But I would give this at the current time, at my first initial rating, is a 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. That is subject to change, no doubt. Um, I have to get really into the nitty gritty of what I liked and what I disliked about it. I'm still fresh off this movie, but I do recommend going to see it in theaters. I saw it with surround sound, Dolby Atmos, with nice reclined seats, perfect experience. Now, I'll get into some small spoilers here. There's a line, like I've already mentioned, from an alien movie. Which one? Aliens. And what is that lie? Get away from her, you bitch! Yeah, it's in here. It's said in a way that's kind of made for laughs, but it actually kind of fits within his character. Why am I saying that? How the hell could I be saying that? Because the character I'm referring to is an android. And he's called bitch quite a few times throughout this movie. It's not once, it might be twice or three times that one of the characters refers to him as a bitch. So he has that in his memory banks. He's like, well, you bitch, you bitch, you bitch. And then he's always being told to get away from that same person. Like he's told to back off. And that person gets up in his face because he has a past with androids that he doesn't like about. And then in that scene where the android says that line, he's fighting an alien. He jumps on top of it with a machine gun, like the Colonial Marines use, which is a nice touch. He goes, "Get away from her!" And then he says it kind of awkwardly because he's still trying to figure out how to use it properly. He's like, "You bitch." I was like, that. I like that because it works. It works for his character. It's also a really forced throwback, but it actually kind of fits. I feel like it fits. Don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I know that that guy was just standoffish with him, calling him bitch all the time. I think it works well. Another thing I want to talk about, which I hinted at in the review, that not only does it connect to Alien and to Aliens, this is a middle chapter story between Alien and Aliens, is that it connects to Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection with throwbacks, not really core element ideas. There's stuff with like her trying to look away from the alien as it screams in her face. Like I said, the 20th Century Fox logo with a fade out with an Alien 3 sound effect, and then the what do they call it, the wolf xenomorph or something from Alien Resurrection. That's a form of that is in here. Wow. There were some scary ass scenes with that thing. Not only that, but the xenomorphs. It's not really fear, it's just the sight of seeing these things chasing after the characters is really unsettling. There's a part where it's walking through steam and you can see the silhouette of it as flashing lights hits behind it. And it's intense, man. The theater was going boom, 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 boom. The closer it got, I was like, ah! And of course, there has to be the surprise second ending. That's part of the core for Alien movies, past from part one to part two. They always have even Resurrection. I don't think Alien 3 didn't really have a second ending, but it's kind of expected, and I kind of didn't want it to happen, but it does, and it made for some of the most unsettling effects I've seen in the film. Yeah, I definitely recommend seeing this in theaters as soon as possible because when it's at X Plus, it will not be the same kind of experience. I felt like stuff was watching me while I was watching the movie, like creatures, and I was like, I haven't felt this unsettled since The First Omen, which kudos to 20th Century Studios. They've had a good track record so far with films like The First Omen. I've heard Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was really good, and now Alien Romulus. That's 3 for 3 that I've heard of or seen that are all good. Like, beyond good, they're really good. Not only with fans, but critics. I could see this film kind of being divisive in some aspects. It also ties into Prometheus and Alien Covenants with the black goo. So, oh, before I forget, there is a cameo, in a sense, where, do I want to spoil it? Should I spoil it? That's gonna do it for this video, guys. You've been watching Shark Ass Entertainment tonight with your host, Brian Gatto. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and to support me on Patreon, where you can get access to early videos and also suggest for me to review movies with a certain tier number. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video, and as always, subscribe.